Yeah, it should be sort of ready to go.
You ready to go?
Sure.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome. This is
Welcome.
the revival of the RPG show. We are your hosts. I am Fatal Thrive, and this is Mr. Savaroth. And,
Hello, Lodi.
you guys might notice if I don't know if you guys were here for the last time we did this. We're not using our cams anymore.
Nope.
We just
Because we got tired of it.
we got tired of it.
Too
so.
much of a hassle to set things up. So.
Yeah, it was also a little bit of annoying because when we would port it to YouTube, the audio would desync from the video, which was
Exactly.
really annoying, and it screwed the whole thing up. So we're just not going to use our cams. Also, you'll notice a little bit different this time. We're not going to put any videos, we're not going to put any pictures on the stream.
On the stream, yeah.
Because last time we did that and we ported it over to YouTube and we got it taken down because nobody, they didn't want the Hitman stuff shown before
Exactly.
it came out and all that crap. So anything that we talk about, I'll just link it in the chat and you guys can check it out. If you guys have any comments or questions, just feel free to type them in chat. I will, say who you are and I'll repeat your question, so when it's on YouTube it's not all confusing when we're answering your questions or anything like that. So anyway, yeah, so let's get started. We had a couple things we wanted to talk about. If you can talk, you can go ahead if you want, or if you want me to
Well, the thing was, Brian and I have had some interesting conversations over the last couple days, basically debating whether and in what kind of direction current games are going. Because we've been noticing a sort of a trend in gameplay, because games seem to get easier and easier with every sequel, with every follow-up, with every trilogy, with any game titles that game companies come out with these days, basically, meaning that these games are becoming just too easy. I mean, I have seen this in so many games, that games, even if you select things like hard mode, actually the game is still, quite easy in comparison to a game that was maybe released in the 90s with a hard mode on there. Absolutely. Games back then, even a couple years ago, games were just more difficult. There is, at the moment, in my opinion, no challenge in games anymore.
No,
that is a question
absolutely
I would like to
not.
discuss.
Well, it's like you say, like with the no challenge. I think the last game that I really had to challenge with was Max Payne 3, and the only reason I had a challenge completing that was because it's one of those games that it kind of stuck to the old Max Paynes, where the old Max Paynes,
Yeah, exactly.
when I streamed them, I mean, I was pissed. I was getting so annoyed because it was it's a hard game. It's just a ridiculously hard game, and that's what I like. Yeah, I get pissed, but you get pissed because you can't beat it because it's hard. You're not getting pissed because there's bugs or because it's just a shit game. You're getting mad because it's it's hard. But when you beat it, it feels glorious. Like
exactly,
you feel like you've accomplished something. And it's just like games today. I refuse to pay $60 for something that I'm gonna beat in 3 hours. Like it's ridiculous. I refuse to pay money for single player games anymore. I was streaming Devil May Cry. My girlfriend actually bought me that for what was it for? I think it was for Valentine's Day, or it might have been for Valentine's Day. Yeah, she bought it for me. So otherwise I would not have bought it, because I just refuse to buy single player games anymore. They're not worth $60. They're not worth it anymore. But yeah,
exactly. I mean, if you look at those games, Crysis 3, great example. You play that game on hard or even Super Soldier, the highest setting of that game, and honestly, you can still play through the game in a few hours. The campaign is so ridiculously short, it is not even funny. I don't understand what they're thinking personally, but that's, like I said, personally, I don't like the fact that they dropped the storyline at Crisis Warhead at the end, and then continued on to Crisis 2, which was also a face roll game, because there was absolutely no challenge in Crisis 2 either. I've played through that game, I was done. I just completely rolled through everything in that game, and I played that game on Super Soldier. So either I am extremely good at these games, which I highly doubt, yes, or they are dumbing down these games for new people, which I completely understand. I understand that you want new people to come to your game, especially the younger audience. Maybe make your game for a 13, 14-year-old.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be like that.
Exactly.
Games were not like that before.
This is why. No, I don't think so. I really think games have become so easy just to satisfy the attention span of a 12-year-old.
To be honest with you, in my opinion, the gaming industry, how it's become almost like the educational system in the United States. No child left behind. If it's too hard, make it easier for them to graduate. That is what it's becoming, and it's ridiculous.
Completely. That is completely wrong. I mean, if you were to do that, right? No kid left behind. Think about it. You're going to pull down the level. Yes, you're going to turn down the level of schools all around the country to make sure that everyone is able to graduate. Yes, you will achieve that everyone is eventually able to graduate, but on the other hand, what you will also achieve is that people that will graduate, they get a degree, maybe, but this degree will be worthless because there is absolutely no challenge in getting that degree.
Exactly.
So if you cater for those people all the time, then they get spoiled. It's very simple. If you buy a game and you're used to a very, very easy game, because that has been the trend, lately, and then all of a sudden you were to come out with a game that is twice as difficult, then these people will say, "Whoa, what the hell just happened? There's no way I'm playing this because it's way too difficult." It's because you get spoiled. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Games back then there's no way that it is that they are comparable on at least the level of difficulty. I mean, of course, games become more visually appealing. They look great, and I've nothing against that. I mean, I think it's great progress, but difficulty in these games is a major issue for me. I mean, I have seen people play through SNES games, NES games, Sega games, Atari games. These games, some of them, are so ridiculously difficult. I mean, that is the other end of the spectrum. I agree, but there must be a golden middle road, right? That they can. Yeah. That companies would be like, okay, what if we do this? And that is sort of annoying to me because honestly,
well, they want their game to sell. Like that's just how it is. They have to make it easier. They have to dull it down. They have to make it easier because the bottom line is that the average kid now will play a game, and if it's too hard, he'll trade it in. He won't actually try to beat it because nobody wants to try. Like, and I'm not saying like everyone. I'm saying, kids who are like 14, 15 years old, they don't want to try. They want to beat it. They want to feel accomplished.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just,
But it's you're not helping these people. That's the problem.
No.
You're not helping them. You're enabling them to be lazy, basically.
Yeah.
So there is something wrong there. Okay, yeah. People saying things like Call of Duty, the latest couple of Call of Duty games have not been as great as, for example, let's say the earlier Call of Duty games. That's what you think. Yeah, that's what you think as well. You agree with that as well. But what these games, the essential gameplay obviously is still the same. I mean, you are a team of people that need to capture an objective or at least achieve a certain objective in the game, and eventually you win the level by doing that. But campaign modes in games it is too easy to get through. There is Max Payne 3 is a great example because Max Payne 3 stuck to the original difficulty. If you, I've seen you watch, I've seen you stream Max Payne 1 and 2. Max Payne 1 and 2 are difficult games, even on the easiest difficulty
So
setting.
ridiculous.
That is a difficult game.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of others, difficult games that are actually, quite challenging. I think Prince of Persia, great example. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, Two Thrones, and Warrior Within. Those games are difficult. I tried turning them up to harder setting. They're impossible, at least for me.
Yeah.
So, on top of that, you get the extra camera shit, but that's another point. So yeah, I mean, I like some of these games that are coming out. Setting-wise, new Tomb Raider game, great example, by the way. Friend of mine was playing it, and he said playing on hard setting, and it's not really that difficult still. So that is a very recent game. Only came out. What was it? 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if you were to set that game to easy difficulty and you're used to a certain level of playing, right, and then you start playing this game, you put it on extra hard because you want to give yourself a challenge, and eventually you find that yes, okay, maybe you do still occasionally die, but in the end, you can play through that game in. I think my brother finished that game in 12 hours.
But see that, and that's the thing, because like the Tomb Raider game is a great example, because you play through the main storyline, and this is what developers are doing now. The game is super easy, but you play through the main storyline, and that's not it. Now you have to go and you got to find this treasure, and then you got to do this puzzle, and then you got to go to this part of the island. Everything is becoming open world now.
Yeah, but
so
that's optional. It's all optional.
But I know it's optional, but it's like, okay, let's make an open world game, because now we're basically taking a path-based game that would have been beaten in 12 hours, and we're making it open world, which is an unlimited gameplay supply now. Like,
yeah.
It's just, like, it's like how you said with Tomb Raider. Now, you and me have disagreements with this, because I won't touch Tomb Raider. Even if I'm gifted it, okay. If someone would buy it for me, like my girlfriend would buy it for me and be like, hey, try it, I'll be like, alright, fine, then I'll try it. Just like Devil May Cry, I was not going to buy it, but she bought it for me, so that's fine, Yeah. But I won't buy this game, because to me, it looks like, and I said this, and people have come back and I've said it looks like an Uncharted ripoff, but people have come back and said, well, Uncharted is a ripoff of the original Tomb Raider, and I'm just like, not really, okay? Like, if anything, it's more like Indiana Jones. It's not really like Tomb Raider, but everybody says that it is, which is fine, but it just looks, the mechanics of that game look exactly like Uncharted, only Uncharted is a path-based game, and this is an open world type of island game. And it's just my opinion. Other people are enjoying the game a lot, but I don't like the whiny aspect of Lara Croft now. She was never like that, and now she's just like, oh, my arm, oh. Like, every trailer gameplay I've seen, she's always cold by a fire, she's always annoyed. Like, I've never seen her gritty down and be like, now I'm pissed, or something like that. Like, it just, I don't know, it just seems like a whiny, primped up little girl that's in the wilderness and then all of a sudden finds a shotgun. That's just what it looks like to me. But I just, it's just, I don't know. But in all honesty, it is a reboot. And when you reboot something, if it's not supposed to be like the older games. It's not. It's a reboot. It's taking the same thing and making it something completely different, which is something I respect, because, it's just like anything out there now that's, we're going to reboot this franchise. I don't expect it to be exactly like the old games anymore. I just don't.
No.
Because, some people don't understand what reboot means. It's not, Max Payne wasn't rebooted. Max Payne was continued.
Yeah.
You're basically reinventing the game for a newer generation, which I can respect. But the problem with that, in my opinion, is come out with something new. Stop it, because it's just like it's just like Spider-Man. It was rebooted. There were 3 movies, and now there's more movies coming out. Drop it. It's boring now. Like, and I didn't even see the new Spider-Man, and I won't, because I'm done with it. I was done with it when they came out before, and then they rebooted it, and they'll probably reboot it again in 20 years. It's like, just stop.
Of course
Like,
it will happen, because
but that's annoying to me. Like, I want new stuff. I want new shit. I don't want old shit anymore.
yeah,
like,
but I think that's a major issue. I mean, I think there's really a lot of companies just lack inspiration at the moment, because let's be honest, a lot of what can be done at the moment has already been done. I mean, we're waiting for the new generation of consoles, and with the new generation of consoles, we'll get a new generation of PC games as well. I think, or I hope at least. And we'll get to see the Unreal 4 engine, new tech stuff, and hopefully computers will become even more powerful in the future. I mean, up to a certain point where computer games will look like actual real life to us. I mean, that might be still a few years away.
Yeah.
But that is where we're heading.
It looks great like that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like you said,
definitely.
like with the new consoles coming out, the only reason I'm excited the new consoles are coming out is because developers are finally able to breathe again. Like, they're finally able to push forward and stop being subjected to this, like, confined corner of these old consoles that these consoles are 8 years old. I
Yeah,
have
they're holding
never
back the market.
I
That's the
have
problem.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have never owned a computer that was 8 years old. And if I
No.
did, definitely wasn't used for fucking gaming. Like,
No.
that's just what annoys me, that the Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, well, not really Nintendo anymore, because they're basically
Yeah, they're sort of,
they're sort of going bye-byes.
down. Yeah.
But, like, Microsoft and Sony, they hold developers hostage when it comes to consoles like this, it just annoys me. Like, they tried so hard to get as much as they could out of these consoles, and they should have built these new consoles a while ago. I can understand, okay, now Unreal Engine 4 is coming out. Now these new
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind. You have to keep in mind that there goes a lot into R&D, a research department of one of these companies, and it costs a lot of money to design a new console and to actually find someone to build it for you. And from what I know, is that Microsoft, for example, has been looking for people to actually build their console for them. Providing the hardware parts so that someone else takes, care of the costs of that aspects of the console. But they couldn't find anyone because every company's like, no. We know that you can't really make a huge profit on hardware parts for consoles. If any, you'll run a loss on most of them. Yeah. Because, let's be honest, Sony losing money on every console they sell. Microsoft losing money on every console they sell. These companies, they make money of games made for their console. They license out to these certain studios that make the games, and then Microsoft catches a certain percentage. And that's how they make their money. And it's difficult to find the money to put into a new console. Bring out a new console to the general audience. It's a lot of money. And besides, would you buy a new console every 2 years?
Not every
$800.
Not every 2 years. Every 4 years.
Okay, every 4 years.
Every 5 years. Not every 8 years. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
PC?
On
So
top
let's
of
say you have a PC as well.
yeah.
You want to keep that updated, and then every 4 years you also have to buy a console, which is also very expensive. You have to keep up to date, or else you won't be able to play the new games. I mean, I don't think that's reasonable. These consoles last this long.
People don't have to buy them. Like,
no, they don't have to.
These consoles. Okay, well, these consoles do not have to cost, $700-800.
It depends
I mean,
what kind of hardware they use, but
yeah, but I mean, for them to go, that it's just my opinion. I just think that they held developers hostage for the last at least 3 years. I didn't think it was right. I thought they should have released these consoles 2 years ago. I think 8 years is way too long for consoles to be out.
well, yes, I agree. 8 years might be a bit too long, but like I said, what is very unclear is the cost. Let's say a company invests $1 billion into researching a new console. Yes. Then after the research has been done, they have a proof of concept, and what happens then is they're going to look for funding. Maybe they will fund it themselves, at least for the major part, but they will need external funding probably, or they will go to the shareholders to say, hey, we want to do this, we need money.
Okay, well,
And
I mean,
in a market as today, it's so difficult. I mean, they're still selling consoles. Microsoft's still selling consoles more than Sony at the moment. But let's be honest, if you look at the specs, a PlayStation 3 can do a lot more than an Xbox 360 can do. Spec-wise. I'm saying it has more power than the Xbox 360. Maybe it's a bit too much because, there's always these rumors going around that companies say, oh yes, but, well, we've only been using 50% of the PlayStation 3. Bullshit. I don't believe you. Okay? Because if there's still 50%, if there's still another 50% to be taken out of this console and put into games, then why aren't you?
yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
it doesn't make any sense.
yeah. Well, here's what Psycho says. Nvidia actually walked away from Sony because they weren't willing to accept the low amount of money Sony wanted to pay them to cut costs on the PS4. And I can understand that, but I don't believe this is what I believe. You will never see Nvidia or Intel parts in any console. I don't think you'll ever see that.
I'm not so sure, because
Nvidia parts, I don't think you'll ever see Nvidia parts. I think they'll always go AMD just because it's a cheaper concept.
I don't know, because you see a lot of new Intel chipsets, and Nvidia chipsets, by the way, in tablets. You see that a lot now, and because, let's be honest,
yeah, but
if Nvidia can sell chipsets to anyone, they will.
Yeah, but it's also more expensive. I mean,
it might be a bit more expensive.
Look at the Sony. Look at the Sony conference. Enhanced GPU, fat, it was all a bunch of flashy words to kids that they didn't understand. Like, it was all bullshit words that they were throwing at kids, like enhanced, fast GPU and shit.
But that's what they've been doing since the very start. Look at
look at what's in it.
Yes, true, but that's the same thing with what they've done with things like consoles as the SNES all the way back then. They were running against the Sega. And the thing is,
yeah, that's what
I've seen some of those.
Odie said that's what they used. Blast processing. That's what they said.
That's for the that was Sega saying that, right? Blast processing.
No, that was Sony at the conference, wasn't it? Blast processing.
Yeah, but they've used that term in an earlier console as well, and in a much okay. Genesis.
Oh, that's
comment.
okay.
Yes,
that's a
exactly.
Genesis comment. All right. But still, it's like they're still using that same bullshit on kids. Like they're still because they know kids are like, whoa, look at I don't understand what I'm listening to, but as long as it says fast and blast,
yes, exactly, lightning bolts on the box.
Yeah.
Fucking, you name it. A demon on the box with a fucking, I don't know, with a gun in his hands. It's like it's the ultimate thing. Kids will fall for that shit. It's that easy.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I fell for it when I was a kid, and I didn't have a fast computer. Do you remember the Nvidia and the AM or it was, what was it, ATI at the time, wasn't it? The graphics card boxes with the girl in the front, she like with the guns and stuff. I was like, whoa! I was like, I gotta get this thing. Is cool. Like, I didn't know what the freak it was. I was like, I gotta get it because it looks cool.
If you're uninformed, then you have no conception of what's going on.
I know, but now that we're older, it's like, really, like, this isn't gonna sell to people who are just
who understand what's going on.
Yeah, but anyway,
that is true. And yes, Odie, that is exactly. It was inferior, but that's beside. I mean, the thing that annoys me about these consoles is, like you said, you know, they try everything. They pull out everything they can to sell these things, to push these things, to push these things onto the market, onto people that have to make a decision, you know, whether they're going with Microsoft, you know, the big company, and or Sony. I mean, currently there's Nintendo is you could say, of course, big, but it's a completely different console that Nintendo brings to the market. It cannot compete with a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox 720. So that's what I dislike, because basically what you're doing is you're telling people, okay, buy our console, and when these people do, other company gets certain exclusive titles which you won't be able to play because you went with a different company.
Yeah.
And which would basically mean that you would have to buy 2 consoles to play all the games, on top of paying $60 for every game that you want to play.
Yeah, but I can understand exclusives because they want to sell their system. So they're going to pay that developer a certain amount of money. It's just like Naughty Dog.
Understand.
It's like Naughty Dog, the developer Naughty Dog, who sticks with Sony for Uncharted series and now the Last of Us that's coming out. People want to play those games. Like, that looks awesome. I got to get and I've even talked to people at my job who were like, man, I wish I had a PlayStation 3 so I could play this game or this game.
Definitely. I have the same thing. I have an Xbox 360. I would love to have a PlayStation 3, but I'm not going to because I don't have the money to buy two fucking consoles.
What's that, maybe Odie would know. What's that new game that's out on PS3 that a bunch of streamers were playing? It's like an anime RPG. It's like it's a turn-based anime RPG.
Is it the Tales thing?
I'm not sure. It's like the Kami or Okami. I'm not sure what it's called. I know.
No idea.
Yeah,
Nukumi.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, what is it called?
Nukumi? Ni no Kuni?
Yeah. That's what it's called. My girlfriend was like, or Joanna was like, I wish you still had your PS3 because I really want to play this game. I really want to play it, and she's waiting and waiting and waiting for a port to PC because she wants to play it. I mean that. No, it's not. I know it's not going to happen, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't necessarily disagree with exclusives to certain consoles because I understand they have to sell their console. Like, that's
I completely understand, but to lure people with exclusives, I don't know, because on the one hand, I like a company for having certain titles for certain games.
Yeah.
God of War, one of them. I love that game. God of War 1, 2, I played them on the PlayStation 2. God of War 3 came out. I wasn't able to play it because I didn't have a PlayStation 3. It's very simple. Now, honestly, I don't have a lot of money. So what I do is very simple. I wait until a console comes out and I know that I'm able to crack it so I can play illegal games on it. I'm going to be honest, I don't give a shit. I don't have the money to buy every game. If I do buy games, on the other hand, games that are good, that I think deserve, being paid for.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Because if you... PlayStation and Microsoft, they are constantly at war with each other. And it just feels like it's becoming harder and harder to make a decision between the two, because every company is trying to get, the major game studios to come to them with their games, preferably as many as they can.
Yeah.
Which, I can understand why they do it, but I do dislike it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it would be awesome. I'm saying awesome if Sony and Microsoft just came out and we were just like, listen,
one console.
yeah, like if they
One
were just
fucking console.
that would be
The
it,
PlayStation 720 Microsoft bitchin' console thing. That's what it's called.
yeah, it would be amazing. But I mean, it's never gonna happen,
No.
like because those two companies would never join
Fire
together.
and water, dude. Fire and water.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen.
But I'm not gonna lie, like it would be amazing. One console, combine your money, make the best console, split the profits somehow. You got, let's just say the profits go to Sony for their developers, blah blah blah, this way, that way. You can use a PS3 controller or an Xbox controller, just
Yeah,
one
you can
banging
choose
console.
whatever
It
you
would
want, yeah.
it would be that thing, like it would be one virtual
Yeah,
world.
exactly, and everyone would get one.
Yeah.
Everyone. And they would all profit of it. They might make less in comparison per console they sell, but in the end, I think it would be better for both of them, because now, Sony's like, oh, well, I have a great strategy. Let's lower the price of our console, and we'll try and get more people that way. And then Microsoft responds, oh, we'll drop the price as well. If they didn't have to do that, if they had the monopoly, basically, because that's the other side of it. I mean, if they would, combine their forces to
Yeah.
make one console,
I don't think they'd
then
be
they would
allowed.
have the monopoly.
I don't think they'd be
No,
allowed.
Exactly, probably not. So that's another issue. But it would be a nice concept. It would be
Yeah.
great to have something like that. Yes.
But the only problem with that is, even if they were allowed and they came out with that console, a year or two down the road, something would happen where those
Yeah.
companies didn't agree on something, and then here come the lawsuits, here come the patents.
Yeah.
Oh, and that would be it, and it would be over. I mean, it's it's the same with phones. It's the same with Apple and Samsung going back and forth on who did this first, who did that first, because it's competition. Like that's and the only reason Apple was ever suing Samsung was because, well, Samsung is the competition. Like they know that they're getting money taken out of their pockets now.
Oh yes.
But
I mean,
yeah, it's how it is. It's how it's always going to be. And I'm sure when we were kids, Sega and Nintendo were going back and forth
sure.
with this,
Sure.
but we were too young to really care or think about it because we were just waiting for the new Metal Gear Solid or something to come out.
Exactly.
So, but
what if Sony and Microsoft came to each other? As in, what do you exactly mean, Darkness? And Odie, what do you, the monopoly thing? Look at Intel, for instance. Yes, you might say that, Odie. They're the only manufacturer of high-end desktop processors, and the price reflects upon this. I see what you mean, but honestly, a few years ago, when AMD came out with the first 64-bit processor, yes, they were at the top of the world. Intel could not get past them for a while, until they came out with the Core 2 line of CPUs. Besides, let's be honest, there is a huge performance difference between top Intel and top AMD systems.
yeah.
It's just that simple. I mean,
And there's also a pretty big price difference too.
Oh hell yeah!
And
There
it's
is
like
a huge price difference.
know.
But if you truly want the most powerful system out there, you go with Intel. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
At the moment, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, there's been times where it was different. AMD was not at the top, and at a certain point in history, I've had my fair share of AMD CPUs.
So did I.
Definitely. Because honestly, I used to be an AMD fanboy, and I would always buy AMD CPUs. But eventually, I recognized that there is, there's better CPUs on the market. And if I'm someone who, if I were to buy a new PC right now, I would want the best of the best, and that is why I would, at the moment, go with Intel. And okay. Yeah, I know you're rolling with AMD. I know, and that's fine. There's nothing
A lot of
wrong
people
with
do.
CPU.
I mean, it's
absolutely
there's nothing
nothing
wrong.
with that.
What it doesn't Arun?
No, Arun runs Intel.
Okay.
i5.
Well, I know Joanna runs AMD. She
Oh,
runs
no.
it. Well, she runs what?
Core i7.
Well, no, she runs an AMD graphics card.
Oh yeah, the AT, yeah.
Yeah,
the
but I
graphics
mean,
card,
it you know, it's still fine for what she wants to do. But like, for me, for Marcel, like we just want
Well,
top of the line. Like I recently
the
just spent over $800 on 2 parts in my computer. I mean, it's what I did because I just wanted a fast computer and I didn't want any problems. I mean, I've heard of the 7970, which is the newest AMD graphics card. I believe the
7970.
Yeah,
The 7990, sorry.
or 7990, is that what it is?
I think it is.
You know, I was looking at videos before I upgraded, and I was like, you know what, this actually runs pretty good. People are saying this runs pretty good. It actually outperforms the 680 in some aspects, and blah blah blah. And then I looked at some forums, and I saw that when the cards came out, they were overheating until and then AMD had to actually update it for it not to overheat. I don't want those issues. AMD has always had this issue where they don't have their drivers updated in time for shit.
So I've had so many issues with AMD.
Let's go back.
God.
Let's go back to Battlefield 3 when that beta and that game came out. My friend who had an AMD card, top of the line at the time, couldn't even play it. Couldn't even play it with over 20 frames per second because they didn't update their cards in time for that game to come out. I don't want that issue. Every time a new game is coming out, Nvidia has that card updated before the beta hits. I mean, that's fast. They know what they're doing,
yes.
and and like I said, like people have AMD cards, and that's fine. Like you can roll with AMD. I don't have an issue, but
honestly, the AMD graphics cards versus NVIDIA graphics cards, they're much closer together than AMD CPUs and Intel CPUs are. There's a bigger gap between those two. And Odie, what you're saying, AMD is usually the first to make drivers for Linux, though. Let's be honest, who cares? 90% of the world runs on Windows. Let's just be honest.
Well,
I mean,
that's
Linux
another thing.
As an operating system.
That's another thing I was thinking about, like how Gaben was talking, the CEO of Valve, was talking about how he hates Windows 8 and he's going to start developing things he's like I'm going to start developing things for Linux. And I sat there and I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to run Windows 7 until they stop updating it, and then I'm going to keep running it until Windows 8 becomes
come out with Windows 9.
Yeah,
exactly. Windows 8.
Or until Windows 8 gets their shit together and comes out with a stable version that I can run for my games. But until then, it's not going to happen. But I'm also not going to go, oh, I'm going to listen to him and I'm going to go out and get me a Linux, like a Linux operating system. I'm not going to. Why would I do that? Like,
exactly.
I'm
it's
not
like Psycho. It's like I mean, you dropped it for Windows specifically for games, which is exactly the reason for me as well. Because honestly, I like Linux. It looks good. There's certain distributions of Linux that look really good, have a great interface, very intuitive, and the main problem for me is that you just can't run a lot of games that I want to play. All right, on Linux.
No.
You need Windows, and I'm not dealing with a dual boot system. I just can't deal with it. I hate that shit. I don't want all that bullshit on my PC. I want to run one operating system.
Yeah, I don't even like a lot of stuff on my computer as it is. Like
exactly.
if it starts filling up, like I usually either start uninstalling stuff, or after like 6 or 7 months, I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna format it and wipe it.
Exactly. The emulator, Wine. What Psycho just says, just 95% of the time, applications you try to run on Wine just doesn't work. They don't work. It's horrible. I mean, I really like that they've actually took a lot of time and put that into this application to emulate things, a Windows environment on a Linux system. Great, absolutely fantastic. I can applaud that completely. But let's face it, it's not Windows.
No.
If you have to emulate a Windows environment on a different operating system, that will cost you performance. It's that simple.
It's
so Why would you go to Linux?
A good example would be Google Chrome and Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer will never be what Google Chrome can be. It'll never be what Firefox is. Internet Explorer will always be shit. They keep updating it. And they keep promoting it and promoting it, but it's always going to be shit. And the only reason I have Internet Explorer on my computer is in case something happens to one of my browsers and I need to download another one.
Honestly,
like, that's the only reason.
I've uninstalled it from my PC completely.
Okay.
But what I like about I recently read an article that basically said that Microsoft is going to invest a lot of money into their search engine, Bing, right?
Yeah.
And they say, they said in
they've
that
already
article,
done it.
Yes, true. But in that article, I think it was last week, I think one of their representatives basically said, okay, I think we can win, the war between us and Google. I thought to myself, would I ever change to Bing? Not in a million years. I hate Bing. It's so incredibly shit. It comes up with wrong results that I don't even want. If I go to Google, I type something in, I find it immediately because the search engine is the scripting behind it is so clever.
And not only that, the problem is that Google's been around for years. You can't just it's just like Facebook and Google Plus. Google Plus is always going to be shit. No one's ever going to use it because Facebook's been around for years. You can't come out with it just doesn't work like that anymore. It's just like MySpace. MySpace, we did a whole overhaul of the website. Good for you.
Anymore.
Yeah, good for you. It's kind of like someone like the kid at school that nobody likes, and then he comes in with a new gaming system, and everybody's just
like,
cool.
Okay,
like we still don't like you.
Yeah,
we still don't like you,
don't
dude.
Expect anything. Exactly.
It's just they don't understand that, and it's like you just look at Microsoft and you're like, look, why don't you just stop putting so much money into this Bing shit because nobody's going to use it. Okay, Google, that's just it. Like Google has that market down. It's done.
You're done. Just
Unless
leave it,
the only
put
way,
your shit, put your money into something else.
Yeah, the only way Google could screw it up is if they somehow change the whole interface and no one likes it.
Yes.
But from what I can see, Google has not changed a whole lot.
No,
since it first came out.
Exactly.
They've changed things here and there, a little bit here, a little bit there.
Though.
Yeah, but they haven't changed the overhaul of it because of the fact that they know if they do, they're going to lose everybody. And that's just how it is. I mean,
yeah, but they don't have to change anything because it works fine the way it does.
Oh yeah, well Facebook worked fine the way it did.
Algorithms.
Facebook worked fine the way it did too, but they keep changing that shit over and over and over again.
Yeah, but I personally dislike that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you dislike it because they keep
still use it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they keep changing over and over and over again, and people keep saying, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. So why do it? That's why Google isn't going to do it because they know it's fine. Facebook was fine before. They kept changing it. Nobody likes it. People still use it because there's no alternative right now.
Oh, yeah, true.
But, from what I know now, there's like double Twitter users that there are on Facebook now.
Yeah, because, Twitter is such a medium that is so easy. It works so intuitively. It's so easy to use. And
exactly. It's like what Psycho said.
Adding.
It's like what Psycho said. People are too comfortable with Google. Why the hell would I switch to something different?
Yeah.
It
makes sense.
Yeah. Why would you?
It makes sense to stick with, and that's also, by the way, why people stick with Windows instead of going over to Linux. Why would you?
Yeah.
If you have no real need for Linux, because maybe there's a specific application that's only out there for Linux, but they don't exist. There's nothing exclusively made for Linux that you can't find or an equivalent of it for a Windows system, and that's why people don't want to change.
I'm hoping since we got so off topic from what we started,
we did.
But
We
it doesn't.
sort of
But it
did.
doesn't matter because that's just how it goes.
It's
That's
just
usually
the
how
way.
our
It's fine.
conversations usually go anyway.
Exactly. We jump. We start
So
somewhere and
yeah.
then end up somewhere completely different.
Yeah, but
Often politics.
yeah, but what was it? Shit, what was I gonna say now? I don't even remember. So screw it.
Oh dear.
I don't even remember now.
That's
But
fine.
yeah, it's I I don't even know how to end this part of the conversation because we were talking about games at first. But yeah, it's the truth. Like, if you're comfortable with something, you're not going to go to something else. Or no, this is what I was going to say. I went on my computer from XP to Windows 7. I completely bypassed Vista because it was shit. It was shit. They started adding widgets and widgets and widgets and this and that and all this
God,
stupid
yes.
bullshit. And it was just like horribly put together. And it was horrible for your computer. It was just like a crappy shit. Like, I had it on my laptop because it was default on my laptop. But I switched over to Windows 7 once I got Windows 7. But and it's just like this. I have Windows 7. I'm going to wait for Windows 9. Windows 8
Hell
can
yeah.
kiss my ass because
Same.
it looks flashy. Oh, it's flashy. It's for people who don't do anything but go on the internet and play
And
internet games. That's all,
Facebook
like
games,
yeah.
maybe type out, a letter every one or
Yeah.
an email every once in a while. I mean,
It's
I was
made
having-
for tablets.
yes.
Get it off
I
of
mean,
my computer.
I was gonna say, I've been having, I'm gonna send this my own laptop back shortly, and then someone lent me another laptop to use for me, right, for the time being, and this other laptop has Windows 8 natively installed on it. Yes.
yeah.
They use a system basically that secure boot. Basically, what that does is supposedly it makes your system more secure by not letting, any root drivers, rootkits into your system, and they also have a fast startup option in Windows. Basically, meaning that as soon as you shut down your PC, it just freezes the screen instead of closing your computer down completely. The problem being that I could not, because I did not want to work with Windows 8, mind you, that I couldn't install Windows 7 on it until I did something drastically. I destroyed all the partitions. I destroyed every hard drive in the PC, as in with software. I completely nuked everything. All data gone. Recovery drives, everything. There's nothing left. I reconfigured the entire fucking system. Then I was finally able to install Windows 7.
Man.
The
fact that you have to do that is bullshit.
Yes, is nonsense. It's
gonna-
my laptop.
I'm going to answer Darkness's question. He asked, basically, what the fuck is a widget? Widgets are, you can put widgets on your desktop, like a weather
Yeah, in the
widget.
sidebar.
It's like a little, I don't know if you have like an Android device, you can put like it's like a little sidebar, and it's like a little box, like a program basically running in the corner of your desktop, like your desktop background. You can put the
Yep.
weather, you could put your CPU usage and shit like that. But the problem with these widgets is, and I used to use them because I was like, oh, these are cool. Man, I can just do that. The problem with them is, what I can't stand is like older people who use them have like 45 of them, okay? and it's all stupid bullshit, and it makes your desktop look like a phone.
Look,
And on top of that, it's just crap. It's just shit upon shit upon shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they wonder why their PCs slow down.
yeah, because all of that stuff, okay, has to load. As it all starts,
yes.
it all starts as soon as your PC starts. Now, with me, I'll tell you what starts when I turn my PC on. Windows, my virus scan, and that's it. And then the basic drivers that I need, like, my audio drivers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is it. That's it.
But yeah, but that's a widget basically. It's just a vanity thing you can put on your screen, and it can technically, have a purpose because it can show you your CPU usage or your RAM usage.
If you don't do
free RAM,
anything,
but-
if you don't do anything with your computer besides go on the internet, okay, that's, if you go on, you just go on the internet, that's all you do, to go on news or something like that, and you enjoy having the weather right there, and you enjoy having breaking news right in your face as soon as you start your computer. Cool. But for people who use their computers for more than just the internet, okay, like, because my whole thing is, there is no point in you having a computer if you're just going to go on the internet. Just go on your phone. Just buy a cheap tablet. Just buy a $200 tablet or something. You'll have the same. You'll have the
you
same
won't take
exact.
up as much space. You have way more space.
And tablets
to put else,
can wirelessly link to printers now. Tablets
problem.
have connectors
built-in
for
keyboards.
They have
you can even attach a keyboard if you want to.
Like, I have a Nexus 7, $200 tablet. Okay, it's a Google tablet, and it's great. I love it. I have no need for an iPad. I have no. Here we go. Today, I went to Panera Bread. I don't know if anybody in the chat knows what Panera Bread is. It's a little restaurant. You can get sandwiches and soup and stuff. I went there.
Yeah.
I saw this Chinese family sitting at a table, and every kid, okay, there were like 6 kids, had a fucking iPad. Every one of them. And I looked and I'm like, are you kidding me? Dude, that's like $5,000 right there in iPads, or $4,000 in iPads?
Easily.
I was like, holy shit. I mean, they're all playing games and stuff, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I would never in my life buy an iPad for my kid. Would I buy him a tablet? Sure. I'll buy him a $200 tablet for Christmas or something. Not an $800 thing that is just an extension of my iPhone. Like,
no.
Okay, totally getting off topic again, but the point is that if you're just going to use a computer for like the internet, just get a cheap tablet. It's
might as
portable.
Well. There's no reason to.
It's portable. It has a battery, and like you said, with the connector for the keyboard.
The keyboard, or maybe an extra screen. Nowadays, you can do so much
or
with a tablet.
You can have shopping centers, like clothing stores, are using.
You can check out with your.
Yeah, you can attach a credit card swiper onto it.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them have credit card swipers built in to the back of them, where all you have to do is rub your card on the back of the tablet, and it processes it. Yeah. I mean, it's so much easier to get a tablet than just to buy a whole PC and have all these bullshit widgets. And the only reason I'm saying any of this is because I'm just saying Windows 8 is shit. I hate it. I hope it dies. I hope they bring back.
Odie just said they actually dropped sidebar and widgets supporting Windows, which is great. I mean, we were talking obviously about Windows Vista being, with the annoyance of having all the widgets on the right hand side or the left hand side, whichever side you wanted to, you decided when you installed Windows. I mean, and I'm so glad that they did drop that, because honestly, I don't know a lot of people who use that. Only some people who are still stuck on Vista for some reason, maybe have an older laptop that is still, running on Vista, and they're like, oh, well, I don't really want to upgrade because, it takes too much time, or I don't know, I'm not sure if I can find certain drivers for Windows 7, or this device is not supported, or, any reason, basically. Mm-hmm. But, normally, most people that I know have sort of migrated. Yes, except for my grandmother, okay? She still runs a laptop, which comes out of the year, 2000, and she runs Windows XP, which is, Windows XP, by the way, is still much better than Windows Vista.
Yeah.
It's my opinion.
Because it was so stripped down. It was so stripped down.
There was no bullshit. If you guys were to see my desktop right now, what I have on there is, of course, some games. Some links, maybe some games, that. But I disable the Aero interface because I dislike it. I don't like all the extra nonsense. My taskbar looks like Windows 2000 taskbar.
Yeah, like Windows XP.
No, 2000. The gray simple bar. That's what I.
Yeah. It's classic.
Yes.
Right. It's called classic.
Exactly.
I had that too.
I love that because
am-
and in Windows 8, when I heard that you were not able to put in like you don't really have the start bar thing anymore, not as we have it in Windows 7. Later on, someone found out you can easily enable this, and then I was like, okay, well then it still might be a good idea to try out Windows 8. So I did. I tried Windows 8, yes, and it came up with all this extra nonsense on your screen. You basically start up and you get assaulted with all these stupid, ridiculous, horrible color
Sexually
combinations.
assaulted. You get
It's
sexually
right-
assaulted with
it's
it.
Right, yes, it's right in your face. It's
Yeah.
like purple and green and yellow and pink and fucking ugh.
And to me, when you go to like, oh, you can go to the desktop version. You know what I mean? Like with the start
Yes.
bar. It doesn't it look like it's just like a picture on what you really want? Doesn't it?
Yes.
It looks like it's not even really there.
Exactly.
It is fucking obnoxious to get to certain things you want to get to.
Configuration screen.
Oh my God. Dude,
Dude, control panel.
Okay, yeah,
Fuck,
and
configuration screen. that
from
is
what
so
I
dumb.
know, you can click the desktop background and then type anywhere on the screen to find what
Yes.
you want. But I don't want to do that. I want to hit the start bar. I want to go to all programs and they're fucking there. I don't want to go look for something. Like that's what annoys me. They just made it harder. And aren't you supposed to make things more simple? Like, oh, you have the Windows 8 interface with like
Yeah,
all
but
the
what
apps and stuff like. But it's like, what if you have an issue with your computer and it takes you an hour and 45 minutes to figure it out because you can't find the fucking thing?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They don't want you to find these extra settings because I think what they have in mind is, if you can't find these advanced settings, then you can't fuck up anything. So basically, what happens is, it's these people just
Yeah,
they
I know.
make it
It's
they make
annoying.
it they make it they try to make it so easy that there's nothing the end user has to do to make things work.
Yeah.
And if there's anything wrong with your PC, then Microsoft would love it if you would just bring your laptop back to the service center,
Yeah.
right? With which they have a service contract, so they get money from that as well. They would love.
Oh, and
nothing
the
more.
best part about that is now Microsoft is opening up stores like Apple has in malls all over the country. They're going to start. So
They do?
yeah, I mean, in one aspect, it's nice. In another aspect, it's shit because basically the only things you're going to be able to bring to like have problems with are Windows 8 devices like the Surface and like laptops, maybe laptops that have Windows 8. Because if you I don't see. It's like with Apple, okay? All of their stuff is standard, like the Macs, the iPad, the iPhone. The people there know exactly what it is that the problem is when it happens because their interface is so we own it and you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's just like it's based. That's just how it is. Windows 8 is not exactly there yet. So I would love to like install Windows 8 on my computer, and then when a Microsoft store opens up in the mall, just take my tower there and just be like, something's wrong. You gotta fix it because it's got Windows 8 on.
Because I did something and something happened and
Yeah.
it went poof and,
Exactly.
and it doesn't work no more.
But see, and that's the thing. It's because you can install Windows 8 on a PC, but you don't see people taking their iMacs to the Apple Store because it's just not what they're allowed to do. You can't do that, which is why the Apple Store, before they started opening them, they only sell the laptop, the iPad, the iPhone, and the iPod, and their little, iShuffles and stuff like that, because they don't want people bringing in their full fucking towers. Because then they could just be like, well, it runs Apple, you're an Apple Store, fix the fucking thing. Like,
which would make sense. I mean,
but
let's be honest.
But yeah, to end this, I don't even fucking know how we got to this point, but Windows 8 stinks. Games have no challenge anymore. We're hoping that everything changes. We're hoping Windows 8 goes away because people don't like it.
Gives us nightmares.
Yeah, people don't like it, and I'm hoping that in Windows 9 they come back and say, okay, let's come out with Windows 9 and let people have it on their desktops, and we will have a separate operating system for our tablets and for our laptops for people to have a choice. You know?
Yep.
Don't shove the same shit in people's face like Apple does, because it's not going to take. Apple already did it. They succeeded with it because they did it so early. This shit is not going to take. And from what I hear, the Microsoft Surface is doing horrible in sales.
Is it?
Their new tablet is doing horrible in sales. From what I hear, it's doing
Oh,
bad.
I think even Samsung even wanted to pull the Microsoft tablets, the Windows 8 tablets, because there was not enough demand for it, basically.
No, it's
so
not.
that's something that I read. It's quite funny because Microsoft really wants to conquer, to conquer the market for tablets,
Yeah.
and they just can't really get a decent foothold.
No.
It's so difficult.
But anyway, all right. I think that's enough for us. This will, yeah. This will be the
Okay.
end. This will be the end. That's about an hour. Yeah. So these episodes are going to be about an hour. We'll try to do them like maybe once a month. Maybe we'll do them. You know,
Yeah.
kind of wait for like some new stuff to come out to talk about. But I wanted to give away 2 games, and since there's like 8 people in here, whoa, 8 people, whoa! I'm gonna give 2 games away. I got 2 games. I got I Am Alive and I got Rayman Origins. So
Who wants them?
no, that's not. We're gonna do. I'm just gonna do random.org, and that'll choose who. Because I don't have any questions for you guys to answer or anything. So
If you wanna get something off your chest, this would be the time.
yeah, if you guys want to say anything, like how you hate us.
Maybe.
Clear glasses. I've got clear glasses. Oh my god.
Clear glasses.
Oh, you know what? Here, I'll give these away. We gotta talk about one more thing too. We gotta talk
What?
about Google Glasses are starting. No. They're starting already before they even come out. They're starting to already get banned in bars.
What? Why?
Yeah, because they don't want people taking pictures without them knowing. Because you can just snap pictures of people without them knowing
fuck.
now.
Yes, of course. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
All right,
I wouldn't
so
fucking want to sit next to someone who could be like,
okay.
click,
Oh,
click.
hold on. All right. So 1 to 8 result number 1, which is Darkness. So Darkness, you want a game? Do you want I Am Alive or Rayman Origins?
First pick.
Darkness 201 in chat. I Am Alive.
Darkness. This is the one.
Never heard of them
question.
2 games. Well,
You have no
roll a
lifelines
die.
left.
no lifelines left. Roll a die.
1
and
million.
1 or 2.
If you miss this one, you'll go back to $32,000. That's a big fall. That's a big fall. Big drop. So think about this very carefully. You don't know Rayman, dude? Rayman? Come on.
Yeah, you're breaking up. I don't know why.
You're breaking up.
Am I really?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. So, Darkness, you won either one of the games. If you don't, I'll roll again.
Probably your TeamSpeak server.
Probably. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Not getting any answer here.
Oh no.
Rayman Origins is a side-scrolling game. They're both on Steam. Rayman Origins is a side-scrolling game. It's kind of fun. Marcel played it. He enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I Am Alive is a post-apocalyptic game that came out on PS3, I believe, and I think and Xbox. And then it was released on
yeah.
Steam. Sorry, dude, if you don't answer me in like next 10 seconds, then I'm gonna give it to somebody else.
And we have to.
Okay, I'm rolling again. What? Did chat like die or something? Can somebody
I
type
don't
in
know.
chat?
Maybe just no one wants them.
Maybe. That's usually how it is.
Usually how it is, yeah. Unless you have like, you know, a channel with 1 million viewers.
I Am Alive was originally supposed to be a full PS3 exclusive. Yes, you're right, Odie. The first one. Okay, so you won I Am Alive. All right, Darkness, you won I Am Alive. Okay, so
Congratulations.
congratulations. All right, I'm going to roll again, and the number is 2, which is Darkness, because Arun just came in. Nice job, Arun. All right, so let's roll one more time. 3, Gauntlet Man. Gauntlet Man, are you there? Gauntlet Man, are you there? Gauntlet Man.
Gauntlet Man. Are you there, Gauntlet Man? Are you there? Or are you not there? Because if you're not there,
Gauntlet.
that means that you're not there.
Gauntlet Man.
Right?
Gauntlet Man. Gauntlet Man. Oh my god.
Oh my god, what? What? Wait.
Gauntlet Man.
I think it's just AFK, dude. I think it's just AFK, you know? Who's this?
Okay, we're rolling
Oh.
again. 5.
What?
Yeah. I'm not waiting.
Oh.
Psycho.
No.
I know Psycho's there. Psycho, are you there? Psycho.
He said he'd pass up on both of the games.
Did he really?
Yeah, because he said he's already have too many games and shit to play, so that's why he said he'd pass up on both of them.
You didn't. He didn't. Oh, he did say. Oh shit.
Yeah, he did say that.
I thought you were. I thought you were.
Fuck?
I thought
mean,
you were
what the fuck?
bullshitting me.
I'm not bullshitting you.
Okay, well then the last person in here is Odie. So Odie, do you want Rayman Origins? If you don't want it, then I'm gonna give it to Arun. So Odie,
There might be.
Would
a
you
bit
like
more of a
Rayman
delay, dude.
Origins?
Relax. There might be some more delay because of the MLG thing.
I know. Okay, Arun, you're getting that Rayman Origins then. Yay, Arun wins
Yay,
Rayman Origins. What the hell? What are you talking about?
Binoculars.
Binoculars. Alright, well, anyway, guys, thanks for joining us for the RPG show, for our rants. Thanks for typing in chat. Thanks for, involving yourselves. We're going to upload this right to YouTube, so if you guys want to watch it over, because I know you guys like hearing our voices.
And before we do end,
Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons is happening in 1 hour.
Yes,
Am I
it
saying
is.
that correctly?
Actually, in
9,
40
so actually
minutes.
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
So we will start up the very first Dungeons and Dragons session.
Yes, Dungeons and
of-
Dragons, 4th edition session.
Session 1.
Yes. So that will be in
So-
40 minutes. We're going to take a 40-minute break, and then we will be back with some Dungeons and Dragons. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Stick around if you want to see some.
time.
Yeah, stick
Yeah,
around if you want
next
to see some
time.
Dungeons and Dragons. So,
Yeah.
peace